Why is the T-51b the most legendary power armor in Fallout? Let's see why it still turns heads and wins wars. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're tackling the granddaddy of them all, the T-51b Power Armor. If you've played any Fallout game, you've seen it. On the box art, in the trailers, guarding Brotherhood bunkers. It's not just another suit of power armor, it's the power armor. Today we'll break down exactly why it's so iconic, how it was developed, what makes it so effective, and where you can get it in Fallout 76. Let's get started. More Fallout's most recognizable armor. First off, let's talk about its legacy. The T-51b isn't just famous in Fallout's world, it's famous in our world. It's the power armor you see on the cover of the original Fallout. It shows up in nearly every game in the series. It's the face of the franchise. Why? Because it perfectly embodies Fallout's aesthetic, retro-futuristic military might, built for a war that never should have happened. It's big, it's intimidating, and it says one thing: you do not want to mess with whoever's inside. More than built to be the best. So how did it earn that reputation? Formerly called the Powered Infantry Armor Model T-51, this thing was the pinnacle of pre-war military engineering. It was West Tech's single biggest contract with the US government. Development started after the T-45 hit the battlefield in 2067. By 2069, West Tech was basically America's favorite defense contractor, and the T-51 was their crown jewel. But they didn't just slap some extra plates on a T-45, they spent nearly 10 years refining it. It had advanced composite plating, capable of absorbing over 2,500 joules. This was no rush job. It entered service in June 2076 after brutal testing at Fort Strong. And when it did, it changed the game. 3. The Battle of Anchorage, its big debut. The T-51b didn't just sit in a warehouse waiting for a ribbon-cutting ceremony. Its true trial by fire was the Battle of Anchorage. U.S. forces needed to push the Chinese army out of Alaska after years of bloody trench warfare. Casualties were mounting. Morale was low. Then the T-51b hit the field. Soldiers equipped with these suits could march through ice, snow, and gunfire while carrying 5mm miniguns like they were toys. It was such a terrifying sight that some Chinese units reportedly surrendered on sight. Imagine seeing a wall of chrome and green power armor stomping toward you with heavy weapons blazing. This wasn't just marketing hype, it turned the tide of the war. 4. Why it was so good. So what made the T-51b so effective? Armor and damage resistance. This wasn't cobbled together Raider junk. The T-51b had a polylaminate composite shell that could absorb over 2,500 joules of mobility. Earlier models like the T-45 were heavy and clunky. The T-51b was relatively lightweight for power armor. Soldiers could move faster, maneuver better, and still take a beating. Power system. It used a TX-28 microfusion pack, delivering 60 kilowatts of power. That fed high-flow hydraulic systems that boosted strength dramatically. Operators could handle miniguns or other crew-served weapons solo. Custom fit. These suits were tailored to each soldier. Properly fitted, they felt like an extension of your body, not just armor, a second skin. Utility features. The helmet had a built-in headlamp, drop-down visor, air seals for operating in radiation, and even a system to recycle urine into drinkable water. Yup, you could theoretically survive for weeks in one of these. 5. The impact on the war effort. Beyond Anchorage, T-51b units saw action suppressing resistance in occupied Canada and even on American soil. In January 2077, the U.S. military used them to break up domestic protests and enforce quarantines. That part of the story is darker. It wasn't just used against enemies abroad, but also against Americans at home. Veterans who had fought in Alaska now found themselves ordered to police their own neighbors. That led to desertions and unrest as food riots spread. It's a reminder that power like this always has a cost. 6. Fallout's icon in every game. But if you're a Fallout fan, you know the T-51b isn't just a lore piece. It's everywhere in the series. Cover art of the original Fallout, prominent in Fallout 3, 4, 76. The go-to armor for the Brotherhood of Steel. Why? Because it's the perfect blend of form and function. It just looks right. Bulky but elegant, mechanical but sleek. If you picture power armor, chances are you're picturing the T-51b. 7 after the bombs fell. The bombs didn't destroy all the T-51bs. After the Great War, these suits became prized relics. The Brotherhood of Steel especially loved them. Even if they had access to newer models like the T-60 or ultrasight suits, the T-51b remained a dependable workhorse. Other groups, mercenaries, enclave cells, wastelanders, would kill to get their hands on even a single piece. Because in a world of raiders and mutants, few things are more reassuring than the hiss of servos and the thunk of armored boots. Stats in Fallout 76. Let's talk numbers. In Fallout 76, the T-51b remains one of the best all-around power armors. Highest damage resistance of any standard power armor, except for T-65 and Vulcan. Great energy resistance. Lowest radiation resistance of the power armor suits. But let's be honest, if you're wearing it, you're not worrying too much about a little rad exposure. It's balanced, reliable, and tough, just like it was meant to be. How to get it in Fallout 76. Want your own T-51b in Fallout 76? It's not exactly lying around everywhere, but it's doable. Vendor bot Phoenix at Watoga Shopping Plaza sells plans for crafting most mods. The armor pieces themselves can spawn at various Type 2 power armor locations in the world. It's actually the least common T-Series spawn, so it'll take some hunting. But that rarity makes it even more rewarding to collect. 10. Why bother? So why go for a T-51b when there are ultrasight suits, T-65 or Vulcan sets? Because this is the power armor. It's the Fallout icon. It has incredible resistances for most situations. It balances mobility with protection in a way few other suits can. And it has the best aesthetic for Brotherhood fans, role players, or anyone who wants that classic look. It's not just armor, it's history. So that's the T-51b Power Armor, explained, from Anchorage to Appalachia. The ultimate blend of power, protection, and style. What do you think? Is it your go-to suit in Fallout 76? Share your stories in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more Fallout lore and gear breakdowns. Thanks for watching, and see you out there in the Wasteland.